Hi friends, welcome back. This is Mel Rose. I'm here to share some astrology and tarot with you today. Today is Monday, April 3rd, 2023, and that means we have entered already the second decan, or the second 10 days of the sun's transit here in the land of Aries. Okay, so sun in Aries, action, initiative, and we can see our plans unfolding at this point in the second decan, which corresponds in tarot with the Three of Wands. Wands are about our drive, our ambition to succeed. You know, the action it takes, the actions you have to take to get to a goal, right? And when we get to the Three of Wands, it's more like a matter of our plans have already been kicked off and now they are unfolding before our eyes, right? So we have this sense not just of initiative, but of momentum, confidence. We can see, you know, the path expanding before us. We can see, you know, the plan and, you know, growing into an actual journey, right? And because we can see that happening, we can also practice a little foresight at this time. We can see what sort of obstacles are coming up, or what sort of benefits we may be able to take advantage of on the way from where we are to where our goal is. And the moon is in Virgo today. We have sharp minds and sensitive bodies. We have an urge to cleanse, to organize, to solve problems. We have a lot of compassion, and you know, we desire to help people heal from their problems. This is very much the sorting things out physically vibe. Okay, so this is also, you know, as we're reaching the full moon, you know, a time of culmination, putting things in order, you know, so that we can be finished up with certain goals, and we can look back on them with the full moon and say what we have accomplished and pat ourselves on the back for it. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to go ahead and turn this card over. We got the Queen of Fire in reverse, friends. Okay, so Queen of Fire, we correspond in you know, a Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck to the Queen of Wands, and this is my Forhasha fairy deck that was a gift from my dear friend Jill. I love this deck. So the Queen of Fire is somebody who represents sort of mastery in one way of the fiery impulses that we have. What are our fiery impulses? They are initiative, they are momentum, the impulses to take action, and you know, take action for the reason of completing a goal, right? So you know, it's all about drive and accomplishment with the fiery element, and also, you know, in the fire element, we get traits like restlessness. You know, initiative can be also restlessness. It can be impatience. We can find frustration on the fiery side. We find anger on the fiery side. We also find like real excitement, enthusiasm, like we get fired up, you know. So that's what the Queen represents mastery of. But the Queen is in reverse here. So I'm going to say, you know, we're lacking some mastery of some of those fiery impulses. Okay, the Queen is a person who considers herself whole in terms of embracing both, you know, the bright and happy side of being herself, and sort of the dark and angry side of being herself too. Like a fiery disposition can be excited and enthusiastic, or it can be excited and angry, right? It can be sort of, you know, momentum plus restlessness. It can be momentum plus enthusiasm, or it can be momentum plus frustration, right? So what I'm seeing here is probably momentum plus frustration, or maybe a lack of sense of momentum. You know, we haven't gained any mastery over, or we're maybe forgetting our mastery of a certain fiery disposition, right, within our own hearts. So where do we see this on the page? Well, you know, we have had 4 planets in Aries. Mercury is moving on into Taurus this morning, and that's kind of, you know, I've been saying that's kind of a relief, because Mercury in Aries was very fiery way of expressing ourselves. You know, it could be a little bit like starting things that we don't necessarily want to have to stick around to finish. It could be a little bit of spicy conversation, a little spicy talking back to people, spicier than we meant for it to be. We may have just felt rather restless in our day-to-day lives, feeling like we should be able to take more action and move forward. There's some frustration, right, associated with, you know, Mercury and Aries, especially while Mars is here in Cancer. They're working together the best they can, but Mars is direct and Cancer likes to go sideways, right? So I can see us having had a little bit of frustration, feeling all this initiative, action, momentum, this desire to have our plans unfold. And then, you know, we release them into the world and it just doesn't go at the speed that we thought it would go. It doesn't go as easily as we thought it would go. It takes more work, and, you know, it kind of takes a little bit more of a defensive and, I want to say passive yet assertive attitude, right? to get what we need. Like, okay, I don't have to go forward right here, but I'm going to step to the side and see if I can go forward from there. So, you know, that's happening. And then Sun, Chiron, and Jupiter still all relatively essentially conjunct to one another in the sign of Aries. Okay. So this is our sense of purpose in life, what we're ambitious about, the work we're doing in the world, sort of linked up and folded in with our desire for healing, especially social wounds, you know, old embarrassments, times when we were either put on the spot or, you know, excluded in a way that felt really unfriendly or, you know, pretty embarrassing for us, right? So, you know, that's our sense of purpose and desiring to heal from those old wounds. And then Jupiter, which is our sense of expansion and growth. So it's saying, you know, that through the actions we're taking at this time, you know, to do the work that we do in the world, to unfold the plans that we unfold, we are giving ourselves that opportunity to heal. You know, in Aries, healing is going to take action. In Aries, your sense of purpose in the world is going to take action. And in Aries, your sense of expansion and growth is going to require that you take action. So it's all about, you know, acting on what you feel like your purpose is at this time, and finding the growth and finding the healing that you need through the actions that you're taking. So, you know, first I'm going to say Aries is power. So, you know, use your powers for good, only and ever for good, right? And, you know, if you find yourself facing some frustration, if you feel like things are not unfolding at the pace that they should, if you feel like, you know, you cannot look ahead necessarily and see, you know, I've been in this holding pattern over something for many months. And, you know, I'm still looking forward and trying to unfold the plan. And so it has been a little bit frustrating to sort of sit here and wait for things to unfold, but that is sometimes just the way life works. We just have to wait for things to happen the way that they should. And it can make us feel impatient, and it can make us feel frustrated. And the unfortunate part of impatience and frustration is that when we get upside down in our fiery impulses, when we don't have mastery over that impatience and that frustration, then it can be expressed in damaging ways and hurtful ways, in spicier ways than it needs to be. Okay. So we want to be careful, especially when the sun is in Aries, when we have so much going on in Aries this time, so much riding on our sense of initiative. We have to be careful not to, you know, sort of explode a little bit. We have to be careful about our tendency to have outbursts, because everybody has their own kind of outbursts from time to time. When we're not feeling like things are unfolding the way that they should, when we feel frustrated or stopped or blocked or backed up. Okay. So, yeah, we want to have mastery over those things. So how do I personally gain mastery of my sense of frustration, my sense of anger, my sense of irritability, and what do I want to say? Impatience, right? How I gain mastery of that really is by recognizing that just because I think it could be done by now That usually does not mean it will be done by now, especially if I'm relying on other people. And that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with other people. It's just that here in the 3D world, things unfold at their own pace. It takes a certain amount of time. Saturn is going to have to, look it over and see what Saturn thinks about it. Seriously. So, especially when we're working with other people and it's all up, and it's not all up to us how things unfold. Aries is very much about the self, like, fine, then I'll just do it myself, right? Let's not just do it ourselves. You can still rely on your teammates. You can still rely on the people who are there to help you. But, it's time to take a deep breath, put our feet on the ground, feel our connection to the earth, and feel grounded, get back in our bodies, take some actions at this time that we know will be helpful, either, to our physical well-being or to our emotional well-being, or helpful to our sense of growth, learning and having more experiences. Take those actions at this time, whether or not you feel like they're taking you where you want to go. Okay? It's time to get grounded in the moment. Just be here right now as much as you can. Don't worry about what the future is bringing, because the future is bringing beautiful things. Okay. It's in the future. We've got to let it unfold, right? Don't worry about what's happened in the past. This is the new year. We are in a new iteration of the zodiac this year. And it's just that there are times when we have all this initiative and momentum on our side, but things don't necessarily move at the pace that our hearts do. Things don't move at the pace our minds do. Things aren't always ready for us when we are ready for them. So we have to, focus on staying ready. Yeah. And if I take those two together, well, I think that's what I just did. We want to be able to look forward and to make plans, but sometimes we can't. And so it's important just to come back to the moment, stay grounded in the moment. And you will know when your plans start to unfold and when you can see what's happening in the future and when you can see what obstacles you may have to overcome in advance. And you'll be able to do it. Just, if you're feeling frustrated at this time, or like your things aren't going at the pace they should, understand that they are going at the pace that they will, and bring yourself back to the here and now, get grounded, and take some action that will help you today. All right. I think that's all I have to say about it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I truly appreciate your presence here. My name is Mel Rose, and I'll see you all back here soon for more Astrology Today and Tarot.